It's been such a long time, but we are back and we got actual football, actual Falcons football to talk about. So let's get at it. And welcome in, everybody. It is episode 175 of Out of Your Falcon Mind, Atlanta Falcons Fancast. My name is John, your host. Not joined by Mike tonight, obviously, as you can see. Joined by my buddy, my friend, J.R. Clark of Pound for Pound ATL. J.R., buddy, what's up, buddy?
Man, what's going on? Just living the dream, trying to cool off from another hot day.
I'm so sick. I'm so tired of this heat. I work outside most of the time, and I'm so damn tired of it, man.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
I get home and I'm just like dead. I'm wore out. Like I don't want to do anything. So
absolutely like worn out from it, and it takes me a good 2 hours just to get something going for the night.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I have to like get myself jacked back up to go work out at some point, and then that it's just and you don't want to do it because it's hot and it's nasty, and my kid wants to play baseball, go outside and throw, and then get hot again. So man, it's just but anyway, guys, look, we haven't been on in like 6+ weeks. It's been a crazy summer for me. It's been a crazy summer for Mike. Mike's going to be, and if y'all, I posted on Twitter and I posted it on here on a little post, a community post. But if y'all have not seen it, or if you're listening to us on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever, and you have no idea what's going on. So Mike's going to be out for another 2 to 3 weeks, probably. He's been traveling a lot during the summer for work, and he's also taking care of a personal matter that's going on. So he'll probably talk about it when he gets back. But he's good, he's healthy. Just going to be out a little bit longer. And in the meantime, folks like JR, we're going to see Savion Mixon, you're going to see Fleek, you're going to see a lot of guys that y'all are familiar with, man. Come in and basically co-host with me until Mike is back. So, we had planned on coming back tonight anyway, because obviously Falcons are playing the Miami Dolphins tomorrow. So we had to talk about that. But so anybody new to the show, man, welcome in. Like I said, come back. I hope you come back next time and continue to come back. And, when Mike is here, it's a completely different. Mike brings something, like JR said the other day, we were talking on the phone. Mike brings something to this creator, Falcons creator, whatever you want to call it, world that nobody else brings. Said you can't replicate it, you can't duplicate it.
I'm about to say he brings an energy, and I am not one of those folks that talks about like vibe checks or anything like that. But he brings he is a walking vibe.
He is. I can't. Nobody can replace him, and so it's not going to be the same show, but it's going to hopefully be a good show. Regardless, hope you guys still enjoy it. But yeah, there's no replacing my partner, man. Mike is the man in so many different ways. So, but if you're, like I said, subscribe to the channel. We're closing in on, I think, 1,600 subscribers. We want to try to get to 2,000, especially before maybe this year is up. That'd be great and be a good mark for us to hit 2,000 subscribers. We got to. Do you have a premium account on Twitter? Because I do not.
No.
And I just found out that you have to have one to stream to Twitter, and we normally get a lot of viewers on Twitter, which kind of sucks.
Right, that happened about 2 weeks ago.
Really?
Because we had been kind of sporadic throughout the dead part of the summer, with our own shows, and I came back on and went to go stream to Twitter, and it was like, no, you can't unless you pay for it. And I was like, okay, look, that's your right as a business owner. Do whatever you want to do with but no, I'm not paying for it. So
yeah. I don't know that I'm sure Mike and I'll talk about it, because like I said, we do normally get a lot of viewers actually.
We got
doesn't do
much from
YouTube, but I mean,
right.
But regardless, man. But look, if y'all can, you can also get all the rest of the business out of the way. You can follow us on Twitter, Out of Your Effing Mind. If you want to email us anything, it's atlfalconfancast@gmail.com. You can find merch, and I'll have the merch thing scrolling on the screen pretty soon, and it'll be in the description of this video or the description on our audio platform. So, man. So, how has your summer been, JR? We haven't talked a lot this summer.
It's been a pleasant summer. For the first time in a long time, good or bad, I have not drowned it in football stuff. I guess maybe it's the like felt like we just did this a couple years ago when when they hired Arthur. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I haven't necessarily dove as deep this summer as I have in previous summers. So that's opened up being able to enjoy some other hobbies. And obviously, kids getting older, she needs more attention. She wants to do more things. So, but yeah, it's been a fun summer.
Yeah, I think that's good. That's awesome. That's basically how mine's been. I mean, other than the business has been really busy, which is great. It's a good problem to have.
Yep.
Y'all that's been watching the show for a while or listening, y'all know my kid plays baseball. He just started high school, so we start out school early down here in the South, so or at least in the Atlanta area. So he's a freshman, and he's going into 14U baseball, and decided, not surprisingly at all, that he just wants to be a pitcher and nothing else. And I knew that was coming. He'd been talking about it for the last year and a half. So
Mhm.
our entire summer since the season since the season was over has been revolving around just pitching. I mean, and him getting stronger and working out and getting more conditioned and working on different pitches, and it's been fun. It's been great. So he has like an entirely new focus that I haven't seen with baseball, so it's really cool to see. And of course, he's going, like I said, just started high school, playing bass and orchestra. So it's just been a very busy summer for us too, but it's been fun. We've been, and I know you kind of sort of watch the Braves. I'd go ahead and advise you not to now, because I'm a huge
Yeah,
Braves fan. But dude, these last 3 games, I'm not going to get into it, but my God, man,
yeah,
we just got embarrassed by the Milwaukee Brewers these 3 games at home.
we got a pretty big contingent of baseball fans at the office I work at. And so, yes, I may not like watch them, but I hear about them like as much as folks hear about the Falcons for me.
Oh yeah,
And so it's
it's not pretty.
definitely,
No,
yeah, no, it's not pretty at all.
you watched any Olympics?
I have been watching some of the Olympics. Have definitely caught my eye. I was watching earlier today women's volleyball. I don't know if the USA pulled it off or not, but
I didn't get a chance
I
to see
will
it.
say this, like, whether it's just been like time of day, like when I sit down to watch it.
Mhm.
Um, but the US women's, like, all around, no matter what sport it has been, absolutely killing it. And
Dude, I know.
from rugby pulling off the huge upset over
That was awesome.
Australia, that was great.
Mhm.
And then that chick Alona Mar is absolutely phenomenal.
What a
And
beast.
then, oh yeah, absolute beast. And just awesome about everything.
If y'all haven't seen her
Um,
stiff arm, like, go
dude,
YouTube that.
it is
That
Derrick. It's
was
Derrick Henry-esque.
that was
Okay,
so beautiful,
it
man.
was a
And she
great.
knew it. Like, you see it in her face. Like, she knew she was going to shove that girl through the
She's like, I'm
dirt.
gonna
Like, she
mash
knew
this
it.
quick.
Oh, she knew it, man. That
Uh,
was awesome. But I agree, dude. I've watched more Olympics probably this year than I've ever watched. I mean, like,
mhm.
it's just, and like you said, I mean, we've got Peacock, so you can go on there and kind of like pick what you want to watch anytime.
Right.
So it's like the availability is insane. I've watched stuff I never thought I'd watch, like archery and just some random random sports when you turn it
Did
on. You know what I
did you
mean?
did you happen to see, or have you seen a meme of the like 50-something-year-old Turkish like
Dude,
airsoft guy?
amazing.
Dude's
Amazing.
out there with nothing. Like,
No.
just no equipment, no nothing. Got a hand in a pocket and just gonna take silver.
Oh, I've seen the jokes. Like, he's definitely like a
Oh,
hired hitman.
oh yeah,
Like if he
dude, yeah,
hasn't been called by a mob or mafia, he's going to get phone
he's
calls.
gonna be.
Yeah, his phone's going to ring. So if he's not into
Yeah,
that, he probably want to, change his
yeah.
number or something. But yeah, it's been fun to watch, man.
But there's
Um,
there's been a lot of really good moments in this particular Olympics.
mhm.
A lot of like wholesome moments, a lot of like fist pumping moments. The U.S. runner that I think it was yesterday, the white guy who can't remember his name, but surprising, shocking for anybody who follows my page. I'm horrible with names, but like like the way the announcers were talking, it was just a foregone conclusion that the other guys were going to win,
Right.
and he comes out of nowhere and wins, and
Mhm.
so yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. I agree. I agree. Let's jump in the chat before we start
Let's
talking
do it.
about some Falcons, man. It's been a while. Marlon, what's up, buddy? He said, "What's up, Ray? Sorry, I've been away for." Hey, man, we've been away too, so it's all good. We've missed a lot ourselves, so we've been watching everybody else, man. It's good to have you in here. Carrie, what's up? She says, "Hey, John, it has
Very
been forever." So happy to see you back. Hopefully Mike soon. Yep, Mike will be back soon at the game tomorrow. Oh, that's awesome. That makes sense down in Florida. Yeah, we're excited too. And make sure y'all catch Carrie on One Time for the Fan too. She's doing a fantastic job over there with Jack and all those guys.
Hey.
Terry, yeah, man. Darth Rev, what's up? So good to have, yeah, man. Good to have y'all back. Really catch. Hey, appreciate it, man. Glad you could be here too, man. And JR. Carrie said, hey, JR.
Hi.
Bernard, what's up, buddy? Hey, man, we appreciate you, Bernard. We have a good time doing it, man. We're just glad to be back doing it tonight. Carrie says, speaking of a hot day, I'm not ready for the humidity in Miami Gardens tomorrow, the heat and Hard Rock Stadium as always. And so I can't even imagine, like, I mean, I know, we heard what they were late getting in the first day, right? A couple hours late. And then, so that's kind of, we heard they started slow. Everything was kind of not the fastest of starts for both offense and defense. Makes sense. I mean, you get in late, then you got to deal with that. I know, but we got our own heat here, but Miami.
That's a whole different ball game. That's a whole different heat right there.
Exactly. Jamal, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, dude. Been a while, man. Mike. So yeah, if you missed it, he's got some personal stuff he's dealing with. He's good. He's healthy. Just working out some things, and he's actually out. He's right now. He's in Nebraska, which is hilarious if you think of Mike being in Nebraska. But he's in Lincoln, Nebraska right now, doing some work. So
that's pretty good.
Yeah, so he'll be back. He'll be back soon enough, man. Can't wait to get him back on here. And Darth Rest said it's a community part of the channel handling some person. Yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah, appreciate you. Yeah, man, appreciate you getting that out, man. Yeah, definitely. Like Carrie said, send good vibes to Mike. He needs a good. He's good, but he needs some good vibes. Anything positive vibes y'all send to him, he's good. Jordan, my friend, what's up, buddy? It's been a while. Y'all doing well? Doing great, man. Glad to be back. Falcons football is back. We are good to go, man. Jamal said, I'll be in and out of chat as long as I have a signal on this oil. Hey, appreciate you checking in while you at hey, we appreciate you checking in at work, especially that work. Nerd King, what's up, man? Good to see you, dude. And I will check in with the chat throughout. Y'all post whatever you want, man. It's just good to be back. So we're going to just talk about everything tonight. I mean, so obviously camp, we got the game tomorrow, and we'll start off with the news that we had today. Unfortunately, Rondell Moore out for the season.
Yeah.
I mean, did you see? I assume it's an ACL. I didn't see
they just said it was they said it was his knee, but like from all the accounts that you heard, like it was non-contact, opposite side of where the play actually went. All those tend to lead up to being an ACL, which really sucks because it sounded like he was really starting to come on. Now I don't know if he would have been able to unseat Ray McLeod, but he probably could have really cemented himself as wide receiver 4, that potential like Tutu Atwell role. And
he was coming around. He was getting,
and it sucks to, a guy that just wanted a fresh start, out of Arizona, ends up, blowing his knee out. That's horrible.
Yeah, especially a guy that's, like an explosive type athlete like him, like that's always, you have confidence he can come back, but it's for those athletes, it's always a lot of mental, like how strong are you going to be when you come back to really, really trust that knee again, so, and you see guys that come back just fine. You see guys that take a lot longer. So hopefully he's one of the ones that bounces back quicker,
right.
and then so all the best to him. And I got to say, what's up? Hopefully good to see you, man. He said, hey, John and JR, thanks for everything you do. We appreciate it, man. We appreciate it.
There you do.
And 330, what's up, man? He said, hey, I think 330, I think 330 is in North Carolina, and I think they're getting hammered right now by some storms. Hopefully you're good, 330. It's good to see you, buddy.
Hopefully.
Good to see you. Man, big checking in with the $9.99 Big Low Country.
Big Low.
Thank you, buddy. That's much appreciated. He said, out of your Falcon mind. Welcome back. Much love to brother Mike. Absolutely, man. Much love to Mike. And appreciate that super chat, Big Low. I mean, I got to get a sounder. Everybody has a sounder except us. And I'm going to figure out some type of sounder. Mike sometimes just does it on his own. So we'll figure out something now. Anyway, and Braylon Trice, we heard, was sick. He made the trip down, but was sick. Didn't
the
practice.
first day he was sick.
He's back on the second day.
He practiced the second day, and from what we heard in the second day, he actually looked pretty good. The defense as a whole actually looked pretty good the second day, but you wonder how much that is like because like they were down like Jalen Waddle, they were down. Like I don't think Tyreek like practiced much during those team. Drills.
Yeah, they were missing a few offensive linemen too that they're typically would have. So it wasn't like, good on good. but I mean, it was still, anything positive. That's what you want to see.
Right. Getting pressures. It sounded like our blitz packages were heating up too.
Yeah, man. Yeah, getting reps. That's what you want to see. And we got another friend here coming on, Mr. Mark Chaney. Mark, he was actually on our last show that we did, which is crazy to say, but you were the last show that we did.
Hey, that was like
it was a while ago,
wasn't it?
It was a hell of a time ago. Yeah, it was definitely
Hey, definitely good to see you back on, man.
Yeah, man. Mike will be back soon enough, buddy. But how's your last 6 weeks been? What's your overall thoughts on camp so far and how this is going down in Miami?
Yeah, hey, just super excited, man. Kind of like where we left off, man. Super optimistic. Man, you just get so close, man. You just look for positives and anything. You get excited with any clip, any interview. So I think, man, that's just where we've been since the last time we talked. And then, hey, we got football tomorrow, so.
Yeah, and I was watching some version of football with the Patriots and the Panthers before we came on, and that's some rough. I mean, like rough stuff. I really hope we don't look like that tomorrow.
You talk about rough football already, and then you add pouring down rain on top of it. So
yeah, exactly.
It's rough football in sloppy conditions makes for almost unwatchable.
Exactly. And Mark, we were just talking about Rondale going down, and so I mean, Casey Washington's been looking really damn good this camp, and from what we hear, down in Miami, what you think his chances are coming up and taking advantage of this opportunity? That, I mean, it sucks, that the circumstances around it, but he has an opportunity now to really kind of get himself into the lineup.
Yeah, hey, he has an opportunity. I mean, that's all a man can ask for, man. And he's been making noise all camp, so it's almost like, he's been putting that good energy out there for this opportunity. So, hey, I mean, I like his chances in this offense. There's a lot of motion. There's a lot of, mismatching, a lot of spacing. Honestly, I think a lot of guys could have success in that type of offense. Mm-hmm. But, obviously he's a name because, we just drafted him. He's young. But, man, I think one of the more underrated wide receivers we have is Cordell Hodge, man.
You don't hear anything about him, yeah.
You don't hear anything about him, but, even with Arthur Smith, he has some plays here and there. He's kind of the same build as – honestly, he's the exact same build as Casey Washington. Not as obvious, not as tall as Drake London, but still he has some sneaky after the catch ability. He obviously has, a wider frame. I think he may have the opportunity before Casey when it's all said and done.
Yeah, you probably and for nothing else, just being a veteran alone, like that's going to give him an upper hand. And like having that opportunity, you're definitely right about that. What you think, JR, about Casey?
I'm interested to see like what live bullets look like for a guy like Casey Washington. Like when we were down there in at the Benz on Friday. This past Friday, he had like a really good catch on the sideline from Penix. Mm-hmm. Came up a little gingerly, but obviously it hasn't hindered him, which is good to see. The one wide receiver that I haven't heard much about that I wonder if he can, with this opportunity, start to make a little bit of noise is Austin Mack from the CFL. Yep. He had over 1,000 yards receiving in the CFL last year. And I think it was close to double-digit touchdowns. So he's a guy who I'm wondering if he can make some headway.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like to Mark's point about like Cordell Hodge, he has a leg up because he's a core special teamer as well.
That as well, yeah.
And it's always like the more you can do, right?
Yeah.
The more you can do for a team, the better chance you have of getting out on the field. And so with him being already like a demon gunner, on the special teams unit, if he can then add a, fourth wide receiver, if he can show that he's capable and trustworthy enough, that can definitely solidify his spot there as well.
Yeah. And I like you and I and Jonathan talked about on Tuesday night. I didn't see this kind of like role for Ray McLeod when we signed him. Like I kind of figured like, okay, kind of maybe a, definitely returner. That's what we're getting him for, returner. And then, maybe he gets a few reps. I mean, I didn't see him being like I mean, getting like damn near all the snaps. I mean, like, like, you know, it's like, that's great. I mean, that's cool, but that's just like one of those things. Like if you'd asked me at the time, I would have thought Rondale Moore had a better chance, you know, being that guy. And Ray's actually was outplaying him, you know, and so, and if he, and then look, you know, obviously if Avery Williams is back and healthy, you know, he's going to be involved in that return game as well. Cause Ravy was just, I mean, he was top notch before he got hurt. So it'll be interesting to see, man, how it all shapes out. I mean, we've got obviously like you said, JR, I mean, like against live bullets, it's going to be different. You just hope that, you know, you're going to see these young guys play a lot probably during these next 3 games. So, I mean, and, you know, they talked to Kirk today. And, man, I love Kirk, man. Like he's talking about, if y'all saw the interview, about how he gets on the pits about like not running fast enough, and he should have ran faster, and make sure he's catching the ball with his hands. And right. You know, he realized that these practices down in Miami have just been like the intensity level has been just ramped up. And he's like, why are we not practicing like this back? And like, we got to do this in Atlanta. That's so good to see from, I don't care who your quarterback is, but if your quarterback's saying those things, man, it just spreads. It goes to the entire team, like offensively and defensively. So I think overall it's going to pick up both sides of the ball when we get back to Atlanta, regardless, or to Flowery Branch. But yeah, would y'all, anything on that, Mark?
Yeah, hey, I'm big on accountability, man. I'm big on accountability, so that's super dope, man, to hear that from Kirk, especially because it's like Kyle Pitts is the highest drafted player on the team. Yeah. You know, he's the most marketable guy. You know, just for anybody to challenge him is questionable, but there's one guy you want him to challenge. It's going to be your head coach, and it's going to be your quarterback. So, man, you definitely love to see that, man. Definitely a switch.
That's something we've been missing the past like 2 seasons. Is that veteran leadership? It's that veteran accountability of, like, you know, in the huddle, you know, get your crap together, you know, kind of moments, and I think that hasn't done, you know, the guys like Kyle and Drake any service. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, generally speaking, when you bring these young guys in, you have your established QB who can set the tone, set the pace, set the expectations. But Drake hasn't had that his whole NFL career. So at least, I mean, Kyle had it at least his rookie career or his rookie season, but then the past 2 seasons, obviously not. So it's going to be interesting to see how he responds.
Yeah, I mean, Kirk is going to be the best thing that's happened to all those guys. I mean, like all of our playmakers. I mean, Bijan, Tyler, you know, Drake. I mean, everybody's going to get, you know, you've already seen it in the practices. I mean, like the ball's thrown with anticipation. It's there. You know, of course he's going to miss here and there. Like, you know, I think his first day, I think in Miami, he was 3 and out, missed his first 3 passes. You know, like that stuff's going to happen. But overall, the consistency level is going to be ratcheted way the hell up from what it's been these last couple of years. You know, so so it's good to see, man. Like my buddy James, if y'all watched this before from the Bolt Bros podcast, he happens to live in Arizona, and he was just at the Arizona camp, and he texted me yesterday. He said, "Bro, I keep seeing Desmond throw his short or into the dirt in this 2-minute drill and down the red zone." And I was just like, man, I don't want to crap on him, but like, I know, I understand.
He don't make it, you know, he makes it too easy.
I know. I was like, damn, man. But so it's just way different. So, hey, before we move on, I got 2 more guys I got to bring on, man. Larry from the Dixon Way. What's up, Larry? Good to see you, buddy.
Greetings and salutations, gentlemen. How y'all doing?
We're doing great. And we got to bring in everybody's favorite uncle, man, Mr. freaking Uncle Steve. I got everybody coming back tonight because we haven't been on in 6 weeks. So I said, look, anybody who wants to come on tonight, y'all come talk, man. Let's come talk. Uncle Steve, what's happening, buddy?
We missed you. I'm telling you.
Man, you got serenading going on here.
This is fantastic.
Got a concert.
Hey, all right, man. I love it. I got to go back. Hang on. I'm missing some comments. Liam, what's up, buddy? I guess good to see you. You know, you're talking about baseball in the chat. I got you. All right. It works. We got Chris. What's going on, Chris? Good to see you, buddy. Millie Mills, man. What's happening, man? It's been a while, buddy. So what's up? P for P. What's up, Mark? And Nick, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Yeah, it's definitely a party, man. We got a party going on here, man. All right, Larry, Uncle Steve, we were just talking about Kirk and the receivers and this kind of leadership that Kirk has had, and the comments he had today about, you know, when he gets on to Kyle about needing to run quicker and, make sure he catches the ball with his hands, and then the intensity level needs to be ratcheted up because, he found out it's a brand new intensity level down there that they weren't working with in a Flowery Branch. So we were talking about how nice that is to hear because we haven't heard that, and to have your leader of your team say that, it makes you feel good inside, right? Steve, Larry, anybody?
I was thinking brute before beauty. So go ahead, Larry.
Oh no.
No, I insist. Hold on. My son, I'm trying to lay him down right quick. You guys good.
I'll go ahead and take care of you, brother. Yeah, that was a pretty cool guy. First of all, good to see you. Everybody else in the chat, appreciate you. Yeah, I like it, man. Kirk Cousins realized this is the dawn. This is near the end. These are those last couple of years, and dude, he's trying to get everybody on point. Think about the receiver he just came from. He just came from arguably one of the top 3 receivers in the game. And he's just trying to get those guys acclimated to a winning type atmosphere and mindset. If that's going to help Kyle Pitts to tell him, hey, catch it with your hands. Don't pull it into your chest. Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe that'll help. Who on the team is going to tell him otherwise, especially on the offense? It's a young offense. They should be willing to listen to what Kirk has to say. I'm just thinking about the age. I'm thinking about Drake. I'm thinking about Tyler. I'm thinking about Bijan. I'm thinking about Kyle. I mean, none of those guys have the experience that he has. So anything he has, any nugget he has to toss out there, whether it's Kyle, whether it's little Casey Washington, you should be listening to what he says.
100%. Larry?
Yeah, I like Kirk Cousins stepping up in this role. We really didn't have that out of the quarterback position for the past 2 years since Matt left. So having a quarterback step up and say, hey, Kyle, you know what? I know you're uber talented, but I need you to run out and catch that with your hands and your fingers, not bring it into your chest. Because that's how the ball pop off your chest. You know what I'm saying? That's how we don't get yet. You know what I'm saying? Because you're waiting for the ball to hit your chest. So, yeah, I love that, personally. And seeing little things like that, I feel like he's commanding this offensive, commanding this team. I think he's the leader on this team. I know there's a lot of people that's out there that want Michael Penix, but I think Kirk Cousins is the right guy for us right now. And he's going to lead this team and surprise a lot of people.
Yep. Agreed. Yeah. And you see everybody, I mean, all the guys and all the guys and girls that are there covering and watching the team every day, pretty much all of them agree. Like they're on 2 different levels right now. Kirk is by far a better quarterback right now than Michael Penix is. And that's, we all know Penix can spin the ball. He's got a cannon for an arm. He's going, hopefully as he progresses, he's going to be good. I was on a podcast with called Lockdown Defense that night. And we were talking, they charged and, and he was talking about kind of like how they were looking at it from their perspective and just, outside of Atlanta's perspective when they drafted Penix. He loved the pick. And like a lot of us were like, I don't know, what are we doing here? At picking a quarterback that early. But you think about how it used to be, and he was right. Like, you didn't have to quarterback step in years and years ago and start immediately. Like it was you knew you were going to get to a couple of years before they were really going to hit their stride. If they hit their stride, they weren't expected to step in and be that guy right then. So, it's nice. He's going to have that chance to learn under a pro like Kirk, and hopefully he ends up being the guy whenever we need him, whatever that may be. So we got everybody here, and we'll start with you, JR. Let's go around. Has there been a surprise for you at camp this year, whether it be like a position battle or a certain player or anything? This is kind of like, oh, I didn't see that one coming.
As of right now, granted, he's one of the guys who I hope we get to see, tomorrow night. But right now, by all reports, it's James Smith-Williams. Like, and when we signed him, I was like, okay, depth piece, potential camp body, rotational guy, what have you, But by all accounts, like he's really like leaning into that role that they have for him, and sounds like being that tweener, looking at what did the past few years in LA with a guy like Michael Hoyt, James Smith-Williams seems like he could really fit that type of role. And so seeing him consistently run with the ones, consistently be out there with the, base package, whatever you want to call it. If you see somebody standing out on that D-line with Grady Jarrett and David Onyemata, you have to go, okay, let me pay attention. And so that right now, that's been probably the biggest surprise for me.
I hear you. Before we go to you, Mark, I miss Uncle. Big love, appreciate you again with the super chat. He said, "This is why Uncle Steve ain't lit." But I gotta say, Steve, you got a
I thought he had a heavenly voice.
Smooth voice. Got a smooth. It's not just because you're on with me right now. You got a smooth voice.
I can't believe Big Low paid to throw some strays at Uncle Steve. That's a different level of petty. Like, what's going on there, Doc?
All of us remember when we were in school and that little young, unattractive girl used to always hit you all the time because she liked you and she wanted to be around you and be like, I just, I take the hits, He already knows. He already knows.
Love it. LAJ said, "Welcome back." Damn, hey, appreciate you, LAJ, man. Yeah, man. All right, Mark. What about you, buddy? What stood out to you or surprised you that you didn't see coming? Maybe this camp so far.
Man, I think Joe hit on the head, man. Wasn't expecting James to be a starter, especially with how a draft went. I didn't really see him to be much of a player at all for us. So I mean, it's truly interesting to see him start and Zach Harrison not out there with the ones. So I think that is the biggest surprise now I think about it. So definitely great point, JR. But I think it goes back to what you were saying earlier, John, man. Ray. Yeah. Again, a guy you think is going to be, a special teamer. He's going to be that vet that came in on a cheap deal. But it's looking like he might be that Cordell Patterson-esque type of signing where you get him for one role, but it shows the camp and shows you can do more. So I think those two guys that y'all mentioned, man, definitely been a huge shot so far.
Agreed. Uncle Steve.
I don't know if it's so much of a surprise, but I'm going to tell you, I spent a lot of time in the Pacific Northwest, and I've always been a big UW fan when it comes to college because I stayed up there for the military. And so I pay attention to the Huskies. When we got Braylon Trice, I said to myself, this is going to be a sneaky little pick for the Falcons. And I think it's going to pay off. If you notice during the practice, he got a lot of run up there. And I'm expecting him to get a lot of run tomorrow too. That's a sneaky pick. I wouldn't be shocked if he's in the 5-6 sacks plus range this year, even if he's coming off the bench.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I love that pick. For me, Larry, go ahead, buddy. I was going to know if you're back.
Are
you back?
I'm here. I would really say Clark Phillips has really been impressing me. When I went up to camp, he was definitely popping on the field. Him and Ray. Like, those two are definitely popping. I think Clark Phillips is going to be okay at the number 2. I was really worried about that. But it looked like he's come a little bit stronger. He's always been quick twitch type of guy, but I think he's going to be all right on that second corner.
Yeah, I agree. For me, kind of two things. Well, I mean, I'll throw 3 quick things in there. Number one, I think we were all ready to throw Richie Grant out at the end of last year. Right. And, Coach Raw came in and was like, no, I actually saw some good things, and so maybe he wasn't put in the best of positions last year. We know when, if you have Richie in the deep third of the field, it's probably not the best thing in the world. It's not his strong suit. That's not where he's going to be successful, right? So, and then it looked like early on, in OTAs, DeMarco was getting a lot of runs with the ones. And then now we got Richie back. So I think it looks like Richie's back to probably going to be that starting safety. And so that doesn't, it surprises me now, but I understand they want to, this has got to be it though. Like this has got to be like, dude, you got to perform this year. Cause it's been multiple coaches that you got to, you got to put up or shut up at some point. And then JD Bertrand, man, Raheem talks about him every day, like he's doing something great every day, and he's smart and he's reading things. He's taking great angles. And he may be one of those sneaky picks too, that ends up, surprising us at that linebacker position, and hey, I'm all for it if he can be, contribute on special teams and possibly, you get that type of value out of a guy. You draft that later on, then that works for me. I mean, that's the two that's kind of stood out for me. And then, I mean, I know at least, I don't know about y'all, but like Mike Hughes, I thought was definitely done, going to be cut, traded, whatever we could do with Mike Hughes, get him the hell out the door. And here he is, probably starting at CB2.
Yeah, if I say he's probably going to be your starter, at least for the first part of the season.
At least for the first part. I mean, like Larry said, Clark has had a hell of a camp, and he's going to be, on his heels, and like if you watch, like, we watched film on Clark in college. He's always played bigger than what he is. He's matched up against bigger receivers, and he has success against bigger receivers. He doesn't care how big they are. Now, eventually, your height's going to come into play whether you want it to or not. So sometimes it's just you're just going to lose out on some of those battles. But I guess the silver lining is Mike Hughes has played better outside than he's been as far as an inside corner. And last year he was mainly inside. So
well, that was the question when we brought him in last year. It was like when they brought him in, they were like,
"That's right.
Oh, he's going to be our nickelback." And I remember all of us going,
"What?
That dude's played nothing but outside. Why are And sometimes that stuff works out, and sometimes it doesn't. And so he didn't look like he ever got comfortable in the nickel. Where a guy like D. Alford looks like he thrives in that nickel spot, and matter of fact, you ain't even heard anybody even challenge D. Alford this so far, which has been great. Like he's got clamps on that thing.
Yeah, 100%. It says, do y'all have anybody that like maybe you're like kind of low key, or maybe not even low key, just like you really rooting for to make the team, or somebody that's just like you really want them to take a next step and like be that impact guy? Like, JR, what you got?
I think right off the rip, the one I'm looking for to take that next step is Arnold Ebiketie. Like, I know
he had a good day yesterday, supposedly.
Yeah, like I know, like sacks aren't the only thing in the world, but we have been deprived for so long of anybody who could consistently get pressured on the quarterback. And to finally have a guy step up would be amazing, such as that. But outside of him, I think nowadays I'm secretly rooting for Eddie Goldman because I want to have to make a graphic to put. Like he's crossed over now to where I want him to make the team just so I can have some fun with that. But yeah, those two.
I love Eddie.
Oh yeah. I'm just like, look, I'm glad Eddie's made it through this humidity. If he could make it through Miami humidity, we are straight. Okay, look, we are straight. He is good to go.
I have to find a new joke now. Because obviously the humidity wasn't the problem, because he just made it. Had to been like Jay Rogers must have pictures or something.
Yes,
like he's blackmailing him somehow.
Yeah, exactly. Mark, what you got, buddy?
Man, it's multiple players on this team, man, that you were rooting for. Because it just seems like there was a certain individual holding them back, man. So I'm about to pick Kyle, man. He was picked 4th overall. He had to deal with the injury. He has had to deal with this is 4th quarterback now in 4 years. Yeah. So hey, I'm rooting for Kyle to show that he belongs in this league, and that he deserves to be that top pick. So like I said, if I'm rooting for one guy, it's gonna be Kyle Pitts this season.
Love it. I'm Steve.
I don't think enough can be said about how good AJ Terrell is. And I know we've been playing around with him not getting paid. People want to see the interception numbers. Shoot, I want to see the interception numbers. But he's been a pretty solid cornerback back there. And I know we got a lot of drama with the money and things of that nature. But I want him to I would love for him to have a 4 to 5 interception year, back to that all-pro status he had after his sophomore year here. And I'm just rooting for AJ to have a top-notch year. Yeah.
Y'all think he gets locked up before the season, or we get this done during the season? Or
I think they're going to lock him up either probably between the 3rd preseason game and the beginning of the year. With the injury that we just had, we're going to need to free up some money to do something. So they're going to They signed AJ, that moves some money down a little bit. I look for that to happen sooner than later.
That was my thoughts too, especially because you could open up a decent. I think we only got about $3 million right now, and which is not a lot to play with. Yeah. So, but Larry, what about you, buddy? Who you rooting for, or some dark horse you got?
Defensively, Clark Phillips, like I said before. I hope he wins that second job. But offensively, man, it's been a lot of talk about we don't really have a number one receiver. I feel like Drake was very handicapped by recent quarterbacks. And I think he's going to show and prove why he is a number one wide receiver. And I'm looking for Drake. I'm looking for Jersey Drake to have at least 1,200 yards, 8 touchdowns, Pro Bowl. That's what I'm looking at.
There it is. Yeah.
Love it. Chat saying Jamal said, I think Bergeron will solidify himself as a top 10 guard in 24. I love it. I love the positivity. I mean, he was good. He had his ups and downs like any rookie does. I mean, especially going from left tackle to guard, kicking in, it's a little different. Things are coming at you a lot faster at the guard than it is at tackle. So, he had to trial by fire last year. So, yeah, I think he'll just having all the same guys back on that line. Being next to Dahlman, being next to, Jake, on the, old head Jake on the left tackle, just having that continuity on the line will help him out big time. And he also said, I'm rooting for Avery Williams. Good call on Avery Williams too, coming back off of that injury. He could be I'm with you, man. Preston, Travis, what's up, buddy? He said, damn, the all-star panel. Appreciate that, buddy. Big Low said, oh yeah, don't forget, there's a meet and greet on August 17th. It will be at what is it, Uncle Steve?
It's going to be at the Bench Warmers in Stockbridge. It's off exit 224, 75 South. Going to watch the game, the second preseason game, Falcons versus Ravens. So y'all come check us out. We're going to have a good time. Get in there early. You get some chicken on the house and come on in and enjoy yourself, man.
There you go. Yep. So that was 8:17. Y'all don't forget that. Come down and say hey to all of us that can be there. That's Liam said Dahlman's taking that next step this year. Man, I mean he's been steadily improving. He said, I mean, that's a good I'm okay with that take. All right. So the guys that's had really good camp so far, obviously Phillips, Hughes has had a pretty good up and down. I mean, I know he got burnt by Tyreek, which I honestly did not even care about that. I mean, Tyreek's going to burn whoever's there. So, I mean, he did come back and get an interception after that. So, like, hey, good for him. But so I'm not, you don't. I guess, well, there's probably level 2. You don't want him getting like, okay, Tyreek's 20 yards down the field, type of burnt. But, I think it was a couple of steps. So, okay, that happens. But, and like, Zoe had a pretty good day. Like JR said, AK had a pretty good day. And that's the thing that I think a lot of us were worried about by not really going out and getting that alpha pass rusher again was, where are we going to generate the pass rush from? And, Gabriel said earlier in the chat, I got to find it, that they had listed Harrison and AK were listed as starters. And I mean, I know JR and us had this conversation, like whoever y'all see as starters, I wouldn't take it too seriously. Like, I think it's just going to be a heavy rotation of guys. And they have made a point, whether it be through draft or, just free agency of the guys we already have. Like, we've got different size guys all up and down this line that can play multiple roles. So, the strength of our line clearly coming from the interior with Grady, and Onyemata, and then you're going to have guys like Rook probably getting in there more than not, because he's being a second round pick, he's going to get that opportunity to get in there a lot. And from here, what Grady says, like, he's annoying as hell. He will not leave him alone. He's asking him questions all damn day, which is great to hear. That's what, and he was joking about it. But, and Rook said, he's like, nah, man, he's like, I'm bugging him to death. Like, I'm asking him all the questions I can possibly ask, so, what better guy to have there, to learn from. So, I don't know that we're going to have that double-digit sack guy this year, and I don't know that we need it necessarily. As long as we don't think. I don't know, guy. Steve, and you're we're all similar age. I mean, like, and obviously, I think you've been you're older. I mean, you've seen it longer than we have. Exactly.
There's 25.
Exactly. You've seen this longer than we have for the most part. Have you most of us, though, have never had the I guess the pleasure of really having a deep defensive line ever. I can remember that we could just say, like, okay, this guy goes down, the next guy comes up. Okay, we're going to be all right. Like there's always a drop off no matter what, because you're a starter for a reason, and there's levels of play. But to have guys that you can come in and be like, okay, we didn't just fall off a cliff here. This guy's going to be able to compete. Well, and also Taquan Graham, we can't forget TQ's having a really good camp too. In that middle part. So, are you concerned about the pass rush, Uncle Steve, or what?
Not at all. And one of the things I think that people want to realize, if we go back to revisit this history, I keep thinking about 2016. Think about the versatility and the rotation on that 2016 defensive line that we had. A lot of young folks on that line, a lot of youth in the linebacker core. The defensive line is going to be pretty good. And to our guy, Eddie Goldman, if Eddie Goldman makes this team, think about that rotation that you're going to have up front, along with the guys that you drafted this year. We went heavy on the D tackles. We went heavy on the line.
I think we drafted all the D tackles, didn't we?
Pretty much. Doesn't seem like it, right? So I really feel like there is a plan there. There's something planned from Jimmy Lake and company that's going to be the strength in the core of our team right there. And that's going to free up some of these younger talents on the edge. I saw a lot of Caden Ellison on the edge during the practices too. A lot of things I think that they might not do traditionally that other teams do, but I think it's all going to be anchored by that Omenyata, Grady Jarrett, Ruka on there.
Yeah.
I know. Did I leave one out? Robo?
No, I mean
you got all three rows.
Probably,
yeah.
And
there are 3 rows? 3 rows?
Four.
4 rows?
I think I said it.
I'm looking at it. There's 4 rows.
4 rows?
Last name.
Yeah, my bad.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But on there, I was listening to Nate Tice's new podcast, and I like the way he kind of put it when he was talking about Atlanta and their defense. He called it kind of like outside of Jesse Bates, it was really like a no-name defense. And I thought that fit, real well. And with a no-name defense, the coaching staff is really going to have to be on its game to, get production. Especially like if you think about where Raheem just came from, first ballot Hall of Famer on that line in Aaron Donald. He commanded so much attention that running that 5-man front with him out there, guaranteed you were going to have somebody unblocked, because if you weren't double teaming Donald, he might as well be unblocked.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you don't have that guy here. So can you reproduce the type of production in your simulated pressures game, in your creepers game with the linebackers? Are you going to be able to drop, whether it's James Smith-Williams or Zach Harrison or whoever, are you going to be able to drop those guys into coverage? It's probably going to be Zoe Carter, because he's really good at doing that. Can you drop that guy and get pressure, from a linebacker spot? So that's going to be the part that I'm excited to see.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. The what's kind of cool too is Zach Harrison. I mean, put on 20 pounds. Don't know exactly what that's going to translate to, whether he's going to be kicked inside more or what. But you saw him really come on those last 4 or 5 weeks of the season last year, and that's kind of where this year. Obviously, with the 3 rookies that we have, on the line there with Trice and Roro, and with those guys, I mean, it's like I don't expect them to just come out the gate firing, because this, there's going to be that adjustment period, especially when they're going up against, other teams' ones, obviously when the season starts. But if we can, hold our own, and the offense kind of not necessarily carry the team, but really, really kind of, because obviously the offense is loaded from our perspective. I mean, it's not obviously it's not like we have a full wide receiving core of just a bunch of crazy freaks. But if you're going to include Kyle in that with Drake, if Ray comes on big, obviously Bijan, you got to include as far as coming out of the backfield, Tyler, all the guys that we have. So, I think the defense is probably going to come maybe a little bit slower, but I think they're going to pick it up mid-season and really, really come on strong toward the end of the season, which is when we're going to need it, obviously, anyway. But that's just kind of how I see it. But I'm not too, like Uncle Steve said, I'm not too worried about the pass rush. I just think it's going to come from, and we're not the Eagles, but you saw a couple of years ago with that Eagles defensive line how deep it was. And those guys were not all like starters, but they came, it's like, they came in fresh, man. And like, if you are rotating guys, like they don't rotate offensive linemen, right? Those guys are in the game the entire game. So when you are rotating in and out defensive linemen, you got fresh guys coming in the fourth quarter, that's getting after the quarterback. Then, that's ideal. We just never had that. We've been lucky to have like a starting four. We're like, all right, damn, we're good. You know what I mean? Like, it's been rough, so this should be like, I'm excited. We just got to pray everybody stays healthy. We don't know nobody going down again like last year, because that just threw a wrench in it. But yeah, what say you, Mark?
Yeah, I'm not really worried, because we all know sacks is not the most important thing. It's about getting pressure, timely pressure. Most important thing is getting off the field on third down. And I think we have a good enough group that should be able to get off the field in critical situations. I will say though that you typically gotta have a guy, and with Grady coming back from his injury, Amayada coming back from his injuries, you got Rook. You just got a lot of different pieces, and maybe it's not the same analogy, but they talk about if you have two quarterbacks, you have none. That's kind of how I feel about our edge and defensive line group. It's like, okay, we're deep, but like, who really is going to be the guy that steps up? So I'm hoping for Arnold to take that step. They know something we don't know, because
he's still there.
Yeah, he's still there.
They ain't tried to get anybody.
That too.
Yeah.
Well, they tried. This wasn't very successful in the offseason.
Well, I'm talking about like
recently,
since we've gotten into camp.
Right.
Because you remember, back, 2016 it was 2016, 2015. It was right around in there. They were watching the O-line and said, "Oh crap, this ain't good," and then went and traded for Andy Levitre.
Yep.
Oh,
and
true.
so I haven't heard any rumblings, and about that, and then to follow it up with the defensive performance that you had in the joint practice, with being able to get pressures through your scheme, leads me to think that they're going to run with it this year. Now, last year we did try to get Montez Sweat at the trade deadline, so who knows on that aspect.
Yeah, different, like you said, different scheme, different coordinator, everything. So and like, I think Steve mentioned it earlier, man, Caden's down on the line a lot. And that's where he excels, man, is getting after the pass rusher. So I'm interested to see what they do with Caden. I'm interested to do with Troy, man. Like Troy's athleticism, like Troy reminded me a lot his first couple of years of, like, I remember Willie Moe when he came in. Like, Willie Moe would come at you 100 miles an hour and go right by the play.
Oh, yeah.
He would just, he'd be in the backfield like that, but then he's just like, oh shit, I'm 10 yards past the play now. Like he would come in fast, but just so out of control. And that's what Troy reminded me of. He'd fly, but he would just be out of control. I think once, he's kind of, the game slowed down for him, he's kind of more in control, knows where his fits are, can hit those fits and not be kind of guessing, because he's so athletic, he can miss sometimes and still recover and be okay. And it's like, before he got hurt last year, we saw that he shot the wrong gap and still got in the backfield and stopped a guy. I think it was a Lions game before he got hurt in that game. Like, it was crazy to see. Like, there's not too many guys that can do that. So I'm interested to see how they do that. Larry, what say you, man, about the pass rush?
I'm worried about the pass rush personally. I think you do need a guy to be able to build around. We're definitely going to have to scheme it. Now, we do have some young talent. Rook, Trice, I'm really intrigued with Trice. Also, Grady coming back. I don't know if he's going to come back full strength, or they're going to, work him in slowly. But when the bullets really start flying. But yeah, to really get to the quarterback, I mean, that's the main thing. I disagree, Mark. It's about getting to the quarterback. Those are a dozen or not a dime a dozen. Like, you can get all the pressures you want to. They complete the pass. You need somebody who can get someone on the ground. Hopefully the guys that we just can help add to that, and they can really scheme it up. Like, it's going to be about scheming it up. There's no one person that I can look to and point to like, okay, this guy's going to be dominating. And we may not even know right now who it is.
Right.
Know? And that's fine. You know what I'm saying? It's not, oh, whoa, it's me type of thing. But it is a concern because, again, it's going to have to be schemed up. And I'm rooting on our coaches and our young guys and our veterans to really bond together. It's a new system. It's a whole new crew, you know what I'm saying, basically, if we're trying to integrate these young guys. And I'm looking forward to it. I think our secondary should be good. And the biggest thing is that should help is our defense isn't with that tongue out. Because, you know, offense 1, 2, and 3 and up off the field, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
A 7-yard out, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I mean, I think if this offense I think the offense will help the defense, give them enough rest so they're not playing 65 to 70% of the game. So yeah. I'm looking forward to us coaching it up and these young guys pinning their ears back. Because, hey, that's the easiest way to get pass rush if you're up. You know what I'm saying? That's how we did in 16.
Yep.
We were up, and guys can pin their ears back. So, yeah, hopefully we're up.
So if Trice gets going, can somebody put a meme together that's like, you know, Braylon Trice, real name, no gimmicks? Can we get
there you go?
I see what you did. Yeah.
There you go. Very
That's
well.
it.
Great job.
every now and again, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. No, no, you bring up a great point, Larry. I mean, like, and that's true. It's like we're all kind of just, I mean, we haven't seen it yet. So we're just betting on what we hope to see. We know we got talented guys there, but we haven't seen them in this scheme. We know we got, you know, obviously Grady's a little older coming off an injury. Anima's a little older. You know, so we're hoping these guys mesh. Like, that's why I said, you know, earlier, it's like, I don't expect them to come out of the gate just firing. Like, if they do, great, like, awesome. I would love it, but that's not what I'm expecting to see. If they do, though, hey, then we're going to have a good time on our hands. Go ahead.
Can I ask one quick question? Larry mentioned it a second ago about Grady and how possibly he might, you know, we might try to work him in a little bit. Have y'all looked at Grady lately? Grady looked kind of thin.
He does.
He looks.
He does.
He looks thin, and I'm not concerned about motor or whatever because he got that. I'm a little concerned about, you know, he ain't hanging out with me at Popeyes anymore. I'm trying to figure out what he, you know, got going on because we're gonna need that
outside now. Maybe he might be trying to work on the outside.
You know what?
That's
a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah. So, hey, we might see a new flash of Grady.
And JR talked about this a lot too, and we saw this at the practice. We're gonna see a lot of 5-man fronts. Mm-hmm. So, like, I mean, who knows what's gonna be on that?
LA lived in a 5-man front. Okay.
Yeah.
And what you're trying to do in a penny front is get your D line on one-on-one situations. Force the O line to go man up. Right? You're trying to take away the ability to duo block, and because if you do duo block somebody and you double one person, that means you're releasing somebody else to be unblocked. Yep. And so we might be, for the first time in probably about 4 or 5 years, might be letting Grady get back to the penetrating 3-tech that he was when he came in the league. Because with the size that we have, such as the Onyematas, the Eddie Goldmans, the, you know, lower down on the depth charts, the Zion Loges, and, you know, the bigger guys, you may be throwing them in there as, okay, hey, this is my run stopping package. You know, this is my heavy package. And then throwing Grady out there as more of a, you know, the pass rush, you know, what's the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line.
Mm-hmm.
And if Grady can be lined up on that inside shoulder, right there in between the center and the guard, and shoot that gap, he can get back there quicker than somebody coming around the edge.
Agreed. And we'll hit two more kind of quick topics before we get out of here tonight. Lowe said earlier, do y'all think the O-line will take a step back with Arthur Smith leaving, and then hopefully came back? I mean, he said it before. He said he said the O-line will also improve from Kirk's leadership. So yeah, for just all along that line, Steve, we'll start with you, Uncle Steve. What do you think about the O-line this year? Because I mean, and JR said earlier, and I think whoever was at the bins, we're still running some wide zone stuff. It's not going to go away. Like it's a lot, because it's what the offensive line's good at. So it's not going to just disappear. But what do you think about the O-line, and just like what hopefully said, having Kirk there is to what difference that makes?
JR has stole like 3 thoughts that I had earlier. First about Eddie Goldman, second about the offensive line, about Levitri coming in to solidify. And I'm going to piggyback off that, because I do feel like continuity between the offensive line is just the ultimate. I do go back a little while, and I do remember the days of Jeff Van Note and Mike Ken kind of anchoring that line for a long time. And there was a lot that you couldn't say about how we ran the ball, because that offensive line had continuity. I think it's very important that the 5 guys we have up there now stay together. I love the fact that we have a Storm Norton and a couple other guys behind us that will be able to give us a little depth. Don't be shocked if even on some passing situations, you might see Norton in there in front of Caleb. If the situation calls for it, because I think Storm showed he could do the job in that position for a while. But I think we're going to be solid.
Agreed. Mark, what you got, bud?
Yeah, hey, Ong said it best. Continuity is the biggest thing our offensive line can have. When we have that, then you have a guy like Bergeron, year or two, definitely expect him to take the next step. I know someone mentioned earlier Drew Dahlman taking the next step. I mean, shoot, he was ranked the top 3 center last year. So I mean, the offensive line is the least of my worries, especially now that we have a quarterback that can be involved in pass protection. He can understand where the hot reads are, get the ball out quickly. Just little things that you just can't expect out of Desmond Ridder, with his first year starting. So, yeah, I'm not worried about the offensive line at all.
Yeah, they said Kirk, I think yesterday, made like 4 changes at the line at one play. And Kirk even said, like, we probably would have, the play clock probably would have run out, but it's practice, so we can. But he was like, Miami showed a different look that we hadn't seen, so we had to make sure we had the guy right protection. And you're right, dude, Desmond never would have done that. Like, and it's not a shot at Desmond. He was young and he unexperienced, So you got a guy coming in this.
And what's interesting? One thing I've always said, I don't know, because I wasn't really in the community 2 years ago, but one thing that was underrated about Marcus Mariota was he did get us in good run plays. Like, he did understand pass protection. He did understand where to run the ball. So, again, that was a big reason why we had one of the top running games that year, was because of Marcus Mariota. I just think having a veteran quarterback is extremely valuable when it comes to offensive line.
We're gonna mute Mark's mic for saying Marcus Mariota twice.
Had to show him a little love.
Ung talks about continuity, and I think one of the biggest wins of the offseason was being able to retain Dwayne Ledford. That, leading that offensive line room, and not only like retaining him, but you give him a little bump with the run game coordinator title. So that's where you because as much crap and stuff as we want to throw at Arthur, he had a good run game.
Yep.
So why lose that? You know what I'm saying? And so you keep a guy who was a part of that brain trust, and allow him to be part of that, building this offense. And you saw it, down there at the Benz, especially and for any of y'all who was, I didn't go up to the Buford practice because there was no way I was fighting that traffic on a Friday. But like I'm sure it was the same deal. Like you said, you saw a lot of still a good amount of outside zone. My only concern about like the O-line taking a step back is because now you have more of a statue. Not super bad, not like Tom Brady-esque, but you don't have a Desmond Ridder who can move. You don't have a Marcus Mariota who can, move and spin out of stuff. But as Mark said, hopefully it's compensated by experience, understanding, getting the ball out quicker. Those kind of things you hope negate.
But his offensive line last year was terrible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So hey, Kirk's had worse, so I'm not worried about his lack of mobility.
Right.
He's not done. He knows. He knows. Hopefully, I said this a lot. We'll probably see a lot of the Peyton Manning move from him this season, where he just gives the player a sack. You're not going to even.
Oh yeah, just go ahead and lay down. Like I don't even care. Lay down and we'll go again.
I think he's already gave Raheem a heart attack a few times, like trying to like run around and get out of the pocket. And Raheem's told him like, dude, like and I think Kirk even said in the interview, he was like, I've had to tell the coaches that like I can't like change my instinct all of a sudden. Like I gotta run. I gotta run. You know what I mean? I can't just all of a sudden just stop, what I've done for so many years. So, and he's looks like he's feeling a lot better on that Achilles. Like it's come back pretty strong. I don't want him out there just taking off because game speed, practice speed, way different, way different. So I don't want him just all of a sudden planting and there that thing goes again. But so far, man, like I get it, I understand. But anything else on the offensive line before we move on? Anybody else? Y'all good?
I kind of echo the remarks of.
Oh yeah, Larry. Sorry. Yeah.
But what Mark was going to say, I think when we have an elite processor, you know what I'm saying, reading defenses and stuff like that, he's going to get the hot read. He's going to recognize different disguised blitzes so we can get that ball out. Also, he can call, you know what I'm saying, the line and say, hey, I need this runner. Hey, I need you to cover this side. Please help and chip off McGrady's. I'm sorry. I'm positive. Please help and chip on the side when there's a blitz coming on my right, please. Was that better?
You know what?
TJ Watt is the first week. Okay. Like I'm cool if Charlie Warner or just put Storm Norton out there with Caleb. Like put him out. They have two right tackles. Like I don't care what it takes, man. We cannot have TJ flying off that end like that. Coming our boy. We can't. So whatever it takes, guys.
We
three
chips.
I don't even care. Like
what is it? However many different football movies, at least 2 or 3 of them got. I just need Kirk to just turn and fire the ball right at TJ's face.
Exactly. Exactly.
Just right off the rip. That way we can set the tone.
All right. So
it's funny though. Just speaking of offensive line, before you transition, what better way to build momentum as an offensive line than going against Arthur Smith week 1 in that defensive line? Like, I think that's a blessing we may not even see, is that, hey, if there's anyone that knows the weaknesses of our offensive line, it's going to be Arthur Smith. So
that's true.
Very true. Way to see how we game plan.
That's true. 4-Quarter Sportscast. What's up, man? Good to see you guys, man. It's at hiding at work to watch. We appreciate that, man. Wallace, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. It's been a while. Atlanta Falcons fandemic. What's going on, man? Good to see you in here. So all right, boys, before we get out of here, start with you, JR. What do you want to see tomorrow night, man? Like, anything special, any particular player?
What I don't want to see is a cart come out on the field.
Hell no. You know what?
Okay,
on your show on Tuesday night, I said, hey, man, I just want everybody to be healthy. And what happens the next day? And I blame myself. Right? I even knocked on wood. I did everything you're supposed to do, and freaking Rondell gets hurt.
What I don't want to see is a cart. What I do want to see is being able to, even though it's going to be vanilla, it's going to be watered down, whatever it is.
Right.
I just want to see the offense be able to move the ball, whether it's Penix, whether it's. I'm really interested, honestly, in like Heineke and Ruick or what, because those guys ain't getting no snaps in practice, so they're going to look like a duck in out of water, which would be interesting. But can we move the ball and does anybody like start to separate themselves? Whether it's in the pass rush, whether it's in the now the vacant fourth wide receiver spot.
Like Mark.
Yeah, I'm gonna be looking at the coaches, specifically Zach Robinson. Even though we're gonna see some vanilla things, and I think concepts in football, they're all the same at every level. It's football. It really is a simple game, but I think it's going to be interesting to see how he uses the motion, man, and how he features that guy in motion. That was something that we saw in 2016, 15, 16 with Kyle Shanahan. So I just want to see who he moves, who he's sending in motion. And then, I want to repeat it just so hopefully we can put good energy, but I don't want to see any carts either. So
exactly.
No carts, please.
Yeah, no carts. Uncle Steve.
JR stole my thunder again.
I'm sorry, Uncle Steve. My apologies.
And it's like, no. But as long as we don't see the players kneeling down on the field for somebody come out for cart or anything like that, we don't need to see that. But I am interested to see, as one person goes down, the competition for the other spot. I've heard all training camp about Casey Washington. Well, you've moved up a spot no matter what's happened. Let's see what he has. I'm really interested to see, when the real bullets are flying, how he's going to do out there. I've been hearing so much about him, but let's see how he does tomorrow.
Agreed. Larry.
Yeah, great think alike. No one getting hurt should be the number one thing on every Falcon fan mind. I can't even talk about what happened to the Braces. Falcons last year, the Atlanta Hawks, the Georgia Bulldogs. So can we avoid the slap rock type of catch up on us and derail our season before it even starts? I'm really looking forward to seeing Michael Penix starting out and how he's going to do with the second unit. How the defense is going to look, second units. And, just seeing those trying to make the team put their best foot forward. Yeah, those type of things. Come on, Clark Phillips, let's go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I'm everything y'all said, and I'm really curious with the running back position. Carlos Washington seems to have passed up Jace for all intents and purposes, and you never know. Like when DeMarco wasn't having a great camp last year, but man, he showed up in those games in the preseason, which is what got him some opportunities during the season. So I want to see which one of those rookies, whether it's Casey, whether it's Jace, maybe the lights come on, maybe he turns it on. Maybe it's something he just he's there. So because I liked the Jace pick when we made it. I thought, hey, that's a good body style, and if something happens, God
kind
forbid,
of a homer too, so
a little bit.
Okay,
but I did like the pick. But I'm curious who happens to those two guys, and like y'all said, and like Four Quarters mentioned too, the defense, man, I really want to see, and like you mentioned too, JR, like if somebody's going to stand out from the pass rush aspect of it, how those young guys are going to look, and just and Kirk said it, he said, look, you're not going to see the best football plays in the world tomorrow. You're going to see, pretty basic football plays from both sides of the ball. So it's going to be a lot of guys like, okay, you're just going off your keys that you've been playing, for the last 14, 15 years of your life, that's what you're going to be going off of a lot of times. It's not going to be, they don't spend a ton of time game planning hardly at anything at all for these games. So it's just kind of, you really just seeing what you read and reacting, so that's what we're going to see tomorrow night. But hopefully, it's all positive and we come out with the win. But y'all guys, y'all got anything else before we close this thing down tonight? Y'all good?
I guess.
And Larry, dude, I don't know how. I'm sorry to change the subject. God bless you, dude, doing these Braves games, man. Like I don't know how. Like I don't even know. Like I can't even get through the games. Like and I'm the biggest Braves fan in the world. It is killing, dude. Charlie Morton, like what the hell? I don't. All right, never mind. This is a whole other podcast.
But John, here's the funny part. I actually like that we're losing just to see Larry lose his mind.
Oh no!
It's almost like this
don't do
little
Larry like that.
thing, because when we're happy and we're winning, he's one way, but when we're losing, he's mad. And to watch his expression, dude, that's gold. But
these last 3 games have been just what an embarrassment. I mean, like, just man,
mind-numbing. And what really got me mad today, sorry about going to breaks like that, but you live
go ahead.
To see Horatio Iglesias come in, we getting our bus whooped by 10 runs is unacceptable. I understand that we had the injuries and stuff like that happen. Players are in all-time slumps. I understand. But as my manager, I do not need to bring out my closer in a 10-run game.
Yeah.
In the other Brewers game, we brought out G.I. Joe Jimenez, one of the best in all of baseball. We were down by 9 runs. Okay, he wasn't available for the next game, and we quickly gave up. We need a right-hand pitcher to get out of that situation, and we didn't. And we quickly gave up 3 runs to give up the lead again, but we snatched it back. So again, I'm not on the bus of firing Snitner like that, but I mean, some decisions just make you go, "What the?"
Yeah,
man, it's just been that season, man.
It really has.
It's been that Thanos season, a soul for a soul. So somebody, hopefully it's the Falcons.
I mean,
and they stole like more, then hey, somebody else got to win.
That was my whole thought, man. When Ronnie went down and then Michael went down, well, Strider went down first. Like, I was like, man, everybody's going down. Like, they have to be sacrificing themselves to the Falcons. It has to be the case. That's what I'm going to believe. So, yeah. And Wallace had a good one. Wallace said, I want to see Eddie Goldman tomorrow. Yeah, he hadn't touched the field in 2 years. So, yeah, I want to see how that looks too.
Like, I'm going to call this, like, him taking a snap tomorrow does not count. Okay.
It's still football. It's a version of football.
I get it. Does not count. Like, he makes it to the 53 the day after, like the day after the first game. If he actually takes a snap, I'm gonna put his face on that as our background because. Anyway,
well, look, okay, guys, look, it's great to be back. I've been gone. We've been gone way too long, and like I said, Mike will be back soon enough. We'll go around the table, let everybody know where you can reach them. And JR, start with you, buddy.
As always, y'all can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Grim1128, GRIMM1128. And generally speaking, Tuesdays, 7 p.m., YouTube, Pound for Pound, ATL, me and my co-host, Jonathan Holder, and who else if I can grab. A lot of times I try to get somebody from, outside of the content world to come and give their opinions. And so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, Pound for Pound, ATL, YouTube, 7 p.m., Tuesdays.
Love it. Mark?
Yeah, y'all can find me at Mark Chaney on YouTube. Try to pop back out, man. And just excited for this season, man. We've been talking ball all summer, but now we get to finally watch it. So super excited to be a part of the community. And John, welcome back. Mike, we miss you. Can't wait
Thank you, brother.
To get y'all back up and rolling for the season, man.
Absolutely. Uncle Steve.
John, thank you so much. I appreciate you letting me get on the show, sir, with this illustrious panel of folks. Oh yeah, Larry too. So I'm on Uncle Steve's Lounge. I'm on Uncle Steve's Lounge on YouTube. Y'all make sure y'all check us out. Me and Larry got a lot of years doing this stuff. But Uncle Steve's Lounge, and don't forget, y'all, next weekend if you get a chance, we're gonna bench warmers, Stockbridge, trying to get together, just have a good time, watch the game, and get a little bit get us greased up before the season starts. Come check us out next week. And game starts at noon, so you got plenty of time the rest of the Saturday to do whatever you heathens do on Saturday. So we
appreciate you. Hey, Jamal, appreciate you, buddy. Wallace, appreciate you, man. Atlanta Fandemic, appreciate you. Atlanta Falcons Fandemic, appreciate you, man. Larry, where can they find you at, brother?
You can find me on YouTube every day, pretty much.
That's right.
We do live commentary. Me and my beautiful wife, Shonda, we do the Dixon Way, all about the sports talk. We do live commentary, all our favorite sports teams. For the Braves, the Hawks, the Falcons, the Bulldogs, and my White Gators. You see I'll provide it right there. So, yeah. If you guys want an alternative for watching the game, don't want to listen to the regular announcers, turn down the TV, turn up the Dixon Way. We will be having a watch party tomorrow for the Falcons games. We will not be doing the Colorado Rockies game. We'll be doing that after on Saturday and Sunday. Braves on a 10-game road trip. They need to go 7-3 on that 10-game road trip to stay ahead of everyone, because right now I think we're in a tie with the Mets for the last
wild card.
Wild card. So yeah, guys, just come try us out. See if you like it or not. We like interacting with you guys during the game. So yeah, just like that.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting us come on, John. Shout out
of course, man.
As always, you guys. Everyone on the panel got great content. So make sure you guys hit that like button. Don't be that guy. If you ain't hit
Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy.
It's like tipping your waiter, bro, and it's free. So you ain't even gotta, pay for nothing. Just tip the waiter, man, for this good content. Stop playing.
That's right. Hey, Mike's not here, but hey, look.
We going to the Super Bowl, mother.
Hey, there's Mike.
Let's get it.
Just had to put Mike's here in spirit. So there we go. Hey, look, appreciate you guys for coming in, and like y'all are more than welcome. I mean, anytime, like I said, until Mike's back, and then we'll, of course, going to have these guys on and off throughout the entire season, because we're going to have a lot to talk about throughout the whole year. So it's great to be back. And so again, thank you guys tonight, JR, Mark, Uncle Steve, Larry. Make sure y'all check them all out. And hit up Larry tomorrow during the game. I think, JR, are you doing it, or do you know yet if you're doing it?
No, it's just still up in the air whether I'm going to do anything tomorrow or not.
I hear you. Well, anyway, man, you guys can always, like I said, catch us. If you're here, subscribe. Like they said, man, like the video. It's free. It takes about half a second of your time. You can follow us on Twitter, out of your effing mind. We haven't done much with TikTok and Instagram recently, because that's kind of Mike's thing, and Mike's been kind of out of commission. So we'll get that started up again soon enough. But that's pretty much Twitter for the most part, or X, whatever. That's where we're at. But email us atlfalconfedcast@gmail.com. We will see you next Thursday night, and then I got to change it up because my kid's fall baseball schedule. He is practicing on Thursday nights coming up, so we're going to have to switch that around. So he's and for y'all that don't know now, like he's a pitcher only. So his whole, it's totally different now. It's like he's not hitting anymore, so everything is just focused around pitching. So like his practices are going to be different. I mean, he's firing it. I think it's 71, 72 right now. He's up there and he's spinning it. So it's fun. It's fun to watch. So we're going to have a good time with that, but we'll figure out when we're going to do, because y'all during the season, Mike and I and whoever here will have a preview show every week for the game coming up, and we'll recap the game either on Sundays or Mondays, again, depending on kind of how the schedule works out for baseball and everything going on. But thanks so much, guys, for hanging out with us tonight and sticking around, since, like I said, we've been gone for 6 weeks. So appreciate y'all coming back and watching. We're glad to be back. We will see y'all next Thursday. Y'all have a great weekend.
Peace.